Today is the last type of counterclockwise rotation that we are going to be doing. A rotation of 270 degrees. So a rotation of 270 degrees, if I'm thinking of my rule, x comma y, where would it lead me? So for this rule, right, because we're dealing with the rules, what we are going to be doing is changing the x and the y. So I'm swapping that x and y. Let me start with that. Swap order. Once I swap the order, what I must change is the x. So swap order, comma, change the sign of x, the x value. Okay, so we swap the order and we change our x. So let us do 3 problems. Number 1, if we are given a rotation of 270 degrees and they tell us that our point is 3, 5, where will that go? So the first thing we're going to do is swap the order. So 5, 3, and then we must change the sign of the x, of the original x. So that's what we're changing. Okay, so let's try number 2. Rotation of 270 degrees, and let's say we have 3, -5. Where will that take you? So first thing we're going to do is swap the order, and we must change the sign of the original x. Let's say number 3. A rotation of 270 degrees, and let's say both of these are negative. Where will that take you? So I'm going to start with step 1, swap order. So -5, -3, but I must change the sign of the original x. So that becomes a +3. So let's review. We have 3 rotations we saw. Rotation of 90, of 180, and now of 270. So here we have our x, y starting points, right, for all, because we always start with positive x, y. And where will that take me? So I want you to visualize this as well. So what the rule for 90 degrees told us is that we change the order and change the sign of the original y. So that's where we would end up. So if I'm thinking of this visually on the x and y axes, let me draw it out. Here's my x and y axis, right? My original point is positive x, y. So this is my positive x, y. If I do a rotation of 90 degrees, this is a 90-degree angle. So if I were to physically flip that ordered pair, where would I end up? I would end up somewhere here, a little bit lower. And that location is my x value is going to be negative. That's why that y must change to a negative y. And my x, which is now my new y, actually is still positive. So visually seeing this. The rule for 180 degrees, what happened there? We kept the order exactly the same, but we changed our signs. So let me visualize that. Why is that true? So if I started off in point x comma y in the first quadrant, 180 degrees would be somewhere down here. Why? Because 180 degrees is literally a straight line. So we end up in quadrant 3. So now if I'm thinking of quadrants, I would end up in quadrant 3. And in that third quadrant, the x value is negative and the y value is negative. So that's why that actually is true. That rule works out. And the one that we just focused on today, if I rotate 270 degrees and my starting point is x comma y, what we said is we swap the order. Very similar to that 90 degree. We're swapping the order. But what changes? The x. But don't forget, this is now our new y. So let's see this visually. So if this is my x and y axes, right? My starting point was somewhere here, x comma y. If I rotate this point 90, 180, 270, I end up somewhere here. I end up somewhere in that fourth quadrant. So let me think of the ordered pair in that fourth quadrant. The x value is going to be positive. That's why that y number is positive. But what about the y value? It's down, it's below 0, below the origin. So you end up with that negative x. So this is why these rules are true. If I do this graphically, it just makes sense. So practice this till you guys become awesome at this, and good luck.